Hosting your own show can change your life. So get the first ever needs-matched life insurance that changes as your life changes.
The Dan Nicholl Show gets some pretty cool guests over the course of the series. Lots of big names. Not often that I'm starstruck, but in this case I am just a little, because the first sports person I ever wanted to be as a kid was Daley Thompson. He was this gold medal athlete who could do absolutely anything. Daley, it's a real honour to have you on the show, and I mean, really, there wasn't anything you couldn't do.
Dan, that's the nicest introduction anybody's ever given me, and thank you, you're right, there's nothing I couldn't do. That was then, though, not now. Now I'm useless.
So, talk to us about how you got into decathlon, because it's not something everybody does. What pushed you in that direction?
Completely by luck. And I started off as a sprinter, and I joined my local athletics club called Essex Beagles. And my coach, Bob, he came up to me one day and he said, listen, 4 of the guys are going to do a decathlon. And he explained what it was, because I had absolutely no idea. And one of the guys has got chickenpox, so he couldn't go. So they needed a 4th one for the team. And he said, why don't you just go along, you don't have to finish. I said, I haven't done 7 of the things before. He said, oh, it doesn't matter. You probably won't be that good. So, you know, just go along and hang out with the fellas. It was pure by chance that somebody had chickenpox.
What was the most difficult of the disciplines?
The discus, actually. Yeah. And I just think just because it's rotational, most other things are fairly linear, and it just took a bit of time to learn. And I think, to be honest, the most difficult thing about the decathlon is the amount of time that you have to spend learning to do the things, because pole vault takes 4 or 5 years before, you know, you're even competent, let alone good. So, yeah, I think the techniques, really.
So beating 3 other guys at a school event is not a bad achievement, but it's certainly not Olympian. When did you start to think, actually, I could be really good at this?
In the night in between, because you do decathlon 5 events on one day and then 5 events on the second day. And when I was in bed, just sort of resting up, getting ready for the next day, I just remember thinking to myself, if I spend enough time with this, I could be really good at it. So it was then that I kind of decided to devote my life to it and being the best that I could.
Whenever I watch, if there's anything that I'm envious about Olympian athletes, it's not so much standing with a gold medal, it's walking in with that team and just being part of that atmosphere. What was that like for the first time?
I have to say that in terms of an experience, going to my first Olympics was the best sporting experience that I'd ever had, because previous to that, 3 or 4 weeks before I was in the company of the world's greatest athletes, I've been doing my high school diploma, and it was completely mind-blowing.
So you come down to Cape Town most years and you ride the cycle tour?
Yeah, I've done 6 or 7, and I ride with a friend, Mornay Duplessis, and Mornay did mention that you were supposed to do it this year.
I was. I did have a knee injury. I've got a surgeon with a letter for
Have you got
this.
a letter, yeah?
I've got a letter. But I could be talked into doing it next year.
Could you?
Yeah.
So on this programme right now, you're going to say that you're going to ride with me. You can even finish in front of me if you like, by 10 or 20 minutes, no problem. But are we going to do it together, raise some money for Laureus?
OK, for Laureus, Daley Thompson and Dan Nicholl will ride the Cape Cycle Tour in 2016.
Good man, Dan. Good man. Like that.